my voice last. We are here today. My name is Terry Jones. I am with an organization called Stand Up America Now. Stand Up America Now is simply about what we are doing today. It is about encouraging you and me to stand up and speak our mind. As we are aware, if you are looking around, if you watch the news, if you look beyond the smiley politicians, and let me tell you and let me warn you, it doesn't matter if they are Republican, it doesn't matter if they are Democrat, it doesn't matter if they are Tea Party, they are all lying. They're all saying the same thing. We will create more jobs, we will spend more money, we will get us out of the hole. Those things will not happen. American people, we must wake up. We are 14.5 trillion in the hole. We cannot spend money. We must cut the budget. What we must do, and what the politicians will not tell us, is that the results and what we need to do to save our country will be very, very painful. It is not going to be an easy fix. There will be no easy fix. We must cut military. We must cut health care. We must cut every single thing we can. There will be no easy fix. Please do not believe the politicians when they say it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. If we do not drastically make a change, we will face a nationwide, possibly worldwide depression. That's what Stand Up America is about, to get you to stand up, speak your mind. Do not be duped. Do not swallow the blue pill. What we're about today is 9/11. What we want to do today is bring attention to what happened, of course, almost 10 years ago. We want to talk about three different aspects of that. Number one, of course, we want to talk about the victims. That aspect has been talked about a lot. The people who died in the Twin Towers. That was, of course, a disastrous event, a disastrous thing that happened. We want to talk about, number two, the people who are not talked about. The people who are not talked about enough, and that is the first responders. We have a mayor, just as we have an anti-patriot president, we have a mayor in New York City who is not a patriot. We have a mayor in New York City who is not doing the right thing. During the 9/11 ceremony, as you already know, the first responders were not invited. That is an absolute tragedy. That is an absolute thing that should cause us in New York City, should cause us as an American people. We should stand up, we should speak out, we should let our voice be known. That is absolutely terrible. Those are the people who are the heroes of 9/11. They need to be invited. They need to be recognized. The people who put their life on the line at that time. That would be the police of New York City. That would be the fire department. And that would be the port authorities of New York and New Jersey. It is absolute tragedy that those people, representatives of those people, are not invited to this event. The third purpose of today is continue, and let us not be fooled. Continue to raise an awareness of the radical element of Islam. We have a White House that appeases Islam. We have a president who at one time said his religion was Islam. We have a White House that appeases Islam. According to White House policy, if there is an official 9/11 event, it is not allowed to mention what actually happened on that day and why it happened and who did it. It was a radical Islamic attack that day. According to our White House, we are not allowed to say that. In other words, they are ignoring the very thing that happened, the very cause of what happened. The radical element of Islam. We We must raise our voice concerning that, and we must, as Americans, we must send a very clear message to the Muslim community. Our message to the Muslim community is very, very clear. We have a constitution. We are governed alone by that constitution. Any Muslim that lives in the United States of America who is here legally is, of course, welcome. Our message to the Muslim community in the United States of America, if you are here legally, you are welcome. You are protected under the First Amendment. You can build mosques, you can evangelize, you can read from the Quran. You are more than welcome to do that. But it is not welcome. We do not welcome the changing or the altering of the Constitution of the United States.
No one you can
If
save
you
that
are
can't be
here,
saved.
then you must be willing to honor and obey and submit to the Constitution of the United States. We do not want Sharia. We do not want any other type of government in the United States of America. That is our message to the community. We must take that very, very seriously. I have spent 30 years in Europe. During that time, I saw the growth of the radical element of Islam. We cannot believe what Islam says as long as Islam is a minority. We must look and see what does Islam do. And we look around the world, what do we see? As we look around the world, we do not see that Islam is a religion of peace. What we have to do is not believe what is said here in America, but we must look around the world and see what is being done in Muslim, Islam-dominated countries. 1,400 years of Islam in Egypt has produced death, destruction, the killing, the burning of churches. That is the actual true nature of the radical element of Islam. We need to look at that. We need to see at the facts and their track record. And not only what they say here in America, but what do they actually do? That is the aspect that we have to look at. Islam proclaims to be a religion of peace. The question is Islam actually a religion of peace? We know that in America, we know that around the world, Islam is considered a religion, and they say that they are a religion of peace. As we look at the actual facts, not at what they say, because people can say a lot of things, and some people are very good speakers, some people are very bad speakers, some people can get their message across. We have to look at Islam. What does Islam know what they say? What do they actually do? Is Islam a religion of peace? Every 5 minutes in a Islam, Quran-dominated country, a Christian is being killed. That is a fact. In Egypt, where 10% are Christians, every single day, a Christian is killed, a house is burned. As we look at Europe, what is going on there, we have to look at what does Islam actually do? Is Islam a religion of peace? The Nobel Peace Prize has been given 98 times. The Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded 98 times. In the first 77 years, the Nobel Peace Prize was not awarded one time to a Muslim, Islam-dominated country. In the first 77 years. In the years after that, it was awarded 5 times. 2 of those awards were given to activists against Islam and against Sharia. The other 2 were given in relationship to President Jimmy Carter. All you need is love. Was only given 1 time. be nuclear power, whether it be a man on the moon, you will find every single important invention was not invented by a Muslim, Quran-dominated country. It is a religion of oppression. Is it a religion of generosity? I have some very interesting facts for you. These things are facts. These are not opinions. These are facts that you can look up on the internet yourself. Is Islam a religion of generosity? You know, we think normally of religion. We think of Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, some offshoot of Christianity, Islam. Is Islam a religion of generosity? Because normally religions help the poor. Normally religions are there for the poor, for the needy, for the disadvantaged. That's what religions do. I have been a pastor for a very long time, 30 years. And religions are always something that they help the poor. Islam talks generosity. Islam talks peace, but when we look at the actual track record, we see no peace. Islam talks generosity, goodness, but is Islam actually a generous religion? I want to give you a list of the countries who has helped and given economical aid to poor countries. And these things are not facts. These are not my opinion. These things are facts. Countries that have given economical aid to poor countries. Do we find a generous Islam? Number one. Number one is, of course, as you can imagine, the most generous nation in the world. That is, of course, the big Satan, the United States of America. The United States of America is number one. They are the most generous, the most free nation in the world. $23.5 billion the United States gives as foreign aid to economically poor nations. If you badmouth America, you should check your history book. We are the most generous. We are the freest. We are the least racist country in the entire world. I lived 30 years outside of the United States. I know that. Number two is the United Kingdom with $12.5 billion foreign aid. So far we do not see Saudi Arabia. Where's Saudi Arabia? Well, where is Kuwait? Well, where is all these oil-rich nations that are helping the poor? Well, okay, good, we've only got to number two. Number three, France, $10.6 billion. Number four, Germany, $10.4 billion. Number five, Japan, $7.5 billion. I have a list of 25 nations. America being number one. About America, shame yourself. Shame on you. 25 nations. 25. You know, in 25 different nations, there is not one Islamic nation who gives anything to the poor, to the needy nations of the world, not one. So no matter what they talk, no matter what they say, facts are facts. Out of 25 different nations, you know, number 25 is Iceland. Iceland gave $6.7 million to poor and needy nations. So I ask you, well, what kind of a God, what kind of a religion is that? 25 nations, not one of them being Islamic, not one of them helping the poor, not one of them giving to another nation. You know why? Because they do not help infidels. No matter what they say, that they do not help unbelievers. They do not help infidels. See the nice little Muslim here in America is a lie and deception. They are trying to create a front. Even the Quran that is here in America, it is not the real Quran. I have many, many Arab friends, and that's not the Quran. The Quran has been watered down. The American Quran has been watered down in order to look at the facts. You do not believe me. You do have an internet. You have a Google. Google it yourself. 25 nations, not one was Islamic. Not a single one. It's not a religion of generosity. It's a religion of bondage. It's a religion of lies and deception. It is a religion that promotes violence. What about women's rights? Well, what about human rights? Islam is totally void of human rights, civil rights. They're totally void. I'll give you some examples.